It's very easy for worship leaders to fall prey to scandals and misrepresent the Word of God. We've seen this from Dante Bowe, Kirk Franklin, and the list goes on and on. At times, it feels as if they think of themselves as VIP and are looking for the congregants to worship them instead of their focus solely being on worshiping God. I don't want you to think that I know exactly the motives of these leaders and their hearts, but it's an interesting question that I have, and I'm sure you've thought about this before as well. As I've said previously in my videos, I couldn't imagine the constant pressure that they're under. The pressures of the world accompanied with ensuring that they're upholding the creed of the church seems as if it could become a ticking time bomb. There's no denying that the creativity and talent that these worship leaders, producers, and songwriters have. I'm not going to pretend that I have not stumbled as a Christian and certainly will continue to make mistakes. But you think that individuals who do have these huge platforms would be more careful with their words and deeds. It also can be considered that worship leaders have not matured enough in character and integrity and should not be thrust into the spotlight so soon. One could argue that this is the reason for so many scandals and false misrepresentations of the gospel. Christian elders and overseers cannot overlook immaturity and a lack of integrity just because the individual is creative, talented, and can hold a note. You'd be surprised how many churches think that because this particular man or woman has the look or appears to be confident and charismatic that they should be ushered in as a worship leader. Yes, your church may gain tons of followers and generate clicks. However, at what cost? Is it worth the soul of the worship leader knowing that they are not living in congruence with the teachings of the Bible? Worship is not just on Sunday mornings on stage. God has called us to worship in spirit and in truth, which means that it must originate from within, from the heart, and it must be sincere. Putting up a front while on stage playing a part is not sincere worship. Now, I'm not saying that Kirk and Dante have completely gone off the rails and there's no grace for them, but I would like each and every one of us, worship leaders or not, to carefully examine our hearts. I'm sure it's easy to get caught up in the limelight, especially if you're a worship leader at a mega church, thinking that the praise and admiration from the congregants is for you and not for God. A God complex and narcissistic tendencies could form from this if you're not careful and accountable to other leaders and elders. At the end of the day, you're not technically at a concert where thousands of diehard fans purchase tickets to see you perform. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Kirk Franklin started leading worship services at the age of 11. So imagine that type of pressure. Your brain isn't fully developed as he's thrust into the limelight. I would be frightened beyond comprehension if my platform began at the age of 11. With everything, it's about being properly disciplined and held to a certain standard. Without it, it's easy to fall and meet your demise. So let's hear from you. What are your thoughts on worship leaders and how easy it is to get tied up in scandals? We're all human and will make mistakes, but what do you think is the main issue here? Does it come down to character and integrity with the heart issue? And if you're struggling in life and need a coach to help you navigate your trials and tribulations, please email me now at lifecoachjscott@gmail.com to get started on your free 1-hour coaching session. It was a pleasure seeing you in this video, and I'm excited to hang out with you in the next. Take care and always strive to remain set apart.